Hello. Welcome to this unique live stream. And I'm Shara Ogin, intuitive coach and energy healer. So, normally, the work I do with clients is helping them to clear blocks and, be their highest and most potent self. But I have found that one of the small components of the work I do is helping people with when somebody close to them dies. And I basically am kind of going out on a limb to present this information because I've had lots of friends who have had friends die lately. And when I go to turn on Facebook, there's like, oh, my blah, blah, blah died. Regardless of the coronavirus, it's just like people are leaving this planet right now. It's like they're done. So that gave me, okay, so I did a few healings just recently on friends and clients with the person who passed over and them. And I felt that there was a big shift that happened for both the living and the dead. And it's really interesting because, I mean, honestly, this work with the dead, I haven't been doing too long, but when people do pass over, they often bring a lot of the energy vibration of where they were at right before they died. For instance, if someone dies too young when they're not quite ready, then this could really cause stirring on the inside, even if they weren't that kind of person. I did a reading a while ago on a guy who was engaged to be married, and they were deeply in love. It was like at the peak of his life. He was like top of the world. And then when he died, he was really unsettled about it, and his fiance was, of course, devastated. So honestly, it takes a lot of healing, and there's no time frame for when the heart is going to heal and a person's going to move forward. But every time after I've done some kind of channeling session with people who have crossed over, there is some degree of closure and completion and an opportunity to say the things that you were unable to say before they died, and a settledness for the person, because when somebody dies, it's basically holding them in hostage when they go crossover. It's holding them in hostage when the person living just can't let them go. Literally, it's almost like a unconscious contract that those who have died and passed over make, is that I'll be here with you until you no longer need me. And sometimes the people who are living, we all know the woman who lost her boyfriend or her husband, and she just really never recovers. And I mean, I can't say all the time the person who passed isn't going to leave, but there will be a period that this person's definitely going to stay in the waiting area to support them and comfort them, but, maybe in ways that they're unaware of. But the important thing to know is that this is actually preventing this person who has died from going to the next phase. And the next phase is all different things. Like, I'm not going to say the next phase is this, but the next phase is usually a lot more peaceful. This is what I've heard and read from people in the afterlife, and also through doing readings. Usually when I do readings of someone that died like 10 years ago, they're not in this discomfort, human emotions. They're in the settledness, And so basically my point is we need to let those who have died go free to wherever they need to go. It's those who are living and having all those emotional states. You're actually doing more harm to them after they die than you're aware of, and I'm not saying don't mourn, everybody has their own time frame. I'm very compassionate and supportive to what people need to go through, what they're going through. Just know that when you're able to set those who have passed over free, there is a huge shift that happens both for you in your own nervous system as well as for them. And there's a vibrational shift that happens in the, outer realms. And eventually, whether or not you believe in reincarnation, I do. And so eventually, when the timing is right, they will move forward to their next, whatever their next is for them. And so this is the natural evolution process, Now, sometimes people stay on the in-between. There's any length of time they could stay in that in-between zone. And so I almost was about to talk about what's healthy after they die, but there is no one recipe for what's healthy. or how you should be after somebody passes over. Because what you want to be is in liberation for the inside, in gratitude for how you've grown and known this person and all the gifts that you've received from their life. And also you want to be able to set them free. So basically, I just came up with this recently, but the whole purpose of life is to die well. So we want to die in a peaceful, restful state, ideally, so that our transition will be as easy as possible. And then whether we're in the after realms or the next life, we're going to kind of come into the next life and pick up from where we left off, like literally. The way you die leaves traumas in the thoughts you're thinking, like literally is like the cord that like stems with you after you go onward and onward. Now, I've never been close to death, so it's easier for me to say this stuff than to actually preach it. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to just start with a really brief meditation, and then I'm basically offering free live healings here. Oh, good. So I've got a couple people on the call now. So if you're here, just know that you're in the right place to be. I'm asking this is donation based, so no obligation, just whatever you feel is right. And I'm first gonna do Anu because she actually messaged me just before this call and told me about someone she wants some support around and some information. And then I'm going to open it up to anybody else who wants healing. So in a moment, my phone right now is turned off, but I'm going to turn it on to the people who signed up for this or signed up for my free healing groups have my phone number. And if you're just hopping through chat and you just come across that, that's totally fine. So we can interact through chat or through my phone or through text, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Okay, so let's just take a breath and settle in. Why don't we just shut our eyes? Come into your body first. To be a good healer and to heal another, you first have to be with yourself. So bring your light energy into your body. Feel it go all the way through your pelvis, through your legs, and down into the feet and down into the earth. Everything in life is recyclable. Everything in life has a beginning and an ending. Okay. And now I would like you to see I'm literally just channeling this. I have nothing exactly planned, but I'd like to envision just us holding hands, and not just us on the call, but the whole like living and dead all coming together and supporting one another, because whether we know it or not, we actually are interacting. I know it sounds scary, but let go of that scary cemetery scariness and just be. We're all at the base just souls. Remove the actual physical body and just become your soul self and hold hands with the souls around you in your visualization. If you want, you could visualize yourself at the cemetery, maybe with those who have passed on. And just feel how we're all in rhythm together. We're all here together. And let's set the intention for this healing for the highest and best for all. To feel more peace in our hearts, more peace in our chests, and to feel a sense of release if that feels appropriate. I just feel like everybody on this call is looking for that sense of release and freedom and letting go, and to have the healing on their end as well. So a sense of acceptance, peace, and freedom. Freedom so that they could float and do their thing. All right, so now you can open your eyes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with you, Anu. I know you're here. I'm going to actually turn on my phone so we could do this partially live, and then I'm also going to read what you wrote on the... Okay, so my phone is on for you to call in. And so Anu says, I would love for you to connect with my aunt, Miss Radha Murti. Oh, by the way, when you call in, you also have to mute the YouTube. Okay, so she wants me to connect with her aunt. She is my mother's brother's wife, who passed on last June 5th. She had lived in Cupertino for the past 50 years. Her husband, Krishna Murthy, passed 30 years ago. My mother's brother and her son, Ravi, passed at age 32 due to cancer. I helped her daughter, my cousin, sister Rekha from Chicago, empty out the house this past year, just before the shutdown. I want to reach out to my aunt and ask the circumstance for her death. And I'm unsure I'll be able to see that. That's not usually what I do, but we could take a look. And so, Anu, go ahead and call in whenever you're free. And we'll put you on speaker. And then you want to know if she suffered. You want to know, was she unhappy about the manner of her death without anyone? And 24 hours before she's found. So she's alone for the 24 hours before she's found. Is she in a good place? Any messages for her remaining daughter, Rekha? And any messages for me, if there's time. Okay, so go ahead and just kind of like waiting for your call, but I could go ahead and start. So, all right. So, first I'm just going to get into your energy. I always say your name wrong, Anuradha. Okay, so let's bring in Anuradha's energy. And let's bring in Miss Radha Murthy. Miss Radha Murthy. Oh, okay. She says she's calling. Oh, it's busy? No, it shouldn't be busy. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to start looking at Miss Radha Murthy's energy. So where is she right now? Where are you right now? She looks like she's very self-sufficient right now. She's doing well. It looks like she's kind of knitting actually, and she's minding her own business. And then I was just asking where she is in relationship to her husband, Krishna Murthy. And they actually look far apart. Sometimes I see like lovers close together, but they're far apart. Interestingly, he looks closer in, and she looks a little further off. That could mean a lot of things, like maybe just her death came in more acceptance. So I'm next asking if she misses him, if she wants to reunite with him. And she's like, yeah, sure. It's not really a high priority for her. Let me ask him if he wants to reunite with her. Yeah, but they're both like good. And he's telling me they've both been very independent people all along. He's like, I know this is not the norm, but I've always done my thing. She's always done her thing. So, but neither of them have like worry in their body right now. Oh, that's so weird that my phone is going to voicemail. Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reboot my phone. Okay, and so why don't you go ahead and call back? It should be, I've never had that happen actually. Maybe that's a sign that I'm not supposed to speak to you live. Maybe it's because we're bringing the dead and they're like, oh, we don't want that to go live. Okay, now my phone's not turning on. Turning on now. Okay. All right. So back to your questions. Okay. To her circumstance for death, what I see is she fell. And I don't know if it's like a stroke she fell. I'm not getting clear information around that. But what it looks like, there was a time period of, okay. So I asked myself, was she laying there for more than 6 hours? I get no. Was she laying there for more than 3 hours? I'm getting a yes. So was it like more than 4 hours? No. So more than 3 hours. Yeah. So it's between 3 and 4 hours. She was laying there and she basically made the choice during that time period. So she basically was like, the thing about death is it's always a choice, subconsciously, it's always a choice. I actually don't know if that's actually true because I have done readings with people that really didn't mean to kill themselves. So I guess I have to think about that answer on all different levels. But, like when people go into comas, that's partially they're basically just choosing not to live anymore. And when they choose not to live anymore, then, you know what, I'm just going to call you. Why don't I just do that? Okay, hold on. Contacts. Okay, I'm just going to call you. Oh, that's not your number. Oh, I don't have it in my phone, but I have it in my text message. So hold on a second. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that worked better.
Yeah. Cool.
It was again going to voicemail.
That's so weird. Well, when we play with the dead, all these things happen. Okay. So I was looking at how long she was there for, and we got between 3 and 4 hours she was laying there before her soul chose to pass over. So let's just start from there. So, okay. So she's probably caught cross motivation. So let's say, what were you thinking? When she said goodbye to your family when they went away for the weekend, she was actually really excited to see them. But she also had this thought, like, at least I'll be missed. At least somebody will be here to find me when they come back. And so she felt like at least she'd be like with family when she died. That's some of the things. Do you want to ask anything else specifically around that?
I guess she didn't. It took a lot longer. Her brother was in town, but then he had gone out for a day, so it was very. He was here from India all the way, and it was very ironic he wasn't there when she passed. So.
Oh, well, she didn't want to burden anybody. I mean, you have that in your whole family lineage. You don't want to burden anybody,
Yeah. So I wanted to know if she has any message for her daughter, who's very upset about the circumstance.
Yeah.
That her 3 family members have passed on, her brother, her father, and her mother.
Okay.
And she's all alone. She has them.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and say her full name once, and then the woman we're looking at's full name.
Okay. Rekha Murthy is the daughter.
Okay.
And Radha Murthy is the mother.
Okay. So.
And she was very close to all her brother, and because she nursed him through his cancer, and her father, and she was close to all of them.
Okay. So why don't you be her, the daughter that's living, and I'll be. Oh my God, these names are just Radha Murthy. So I'll be Radha Murthy. So why don't you start by asking me a question?
So what is it that are you happy with the way I took care of all your things in your house, because I donated a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. She's really unworried about it. It's really, she's so unconcerned about that.
Okay.
I mean, she answered just like, yeah, of course. But, she totally doesn't care.
Okay. So do you have any message for me and for your grandkids? She has 3 sons.
Yeah, I miss you. Basically, she doesn't want to burden you. Don't worry about me is her message.
That sounds like her.
Yeah, I heard her say that before. Don't mind me. And she's just knitting.
But she can be annoying.
Well, she's basically not trying to come back into life, because she's made her decision and she's very firm about it. And so she's trying to not be in that interlude where she's trying to take your energy or communicate. So this is actually telling me that you probably haven't felt as many signs from her, because a lot of people really will tell you if someone close to them died, they really feel the energy of this person. I don't know how it was initially when she died. Maybe more so then. But now it's she really took her energy with her.
Oh, okay. That's good, because her house is all empty now, and I don't know how she feels, so that's why.
Well, I'll just ask her. No, she totally doesn't care.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it possible to talk to her brother, Ravindra Murthy?
Okay. So let's see. Her brother, Ravi. Okay.
He died very young, at 32. He had cancer.
Okay, so it's your mother's brother. Okay.
No. Rekha's brother, the daughter, the mother's son. Yeah.
Okay, wait, the mother's son.
Wait. And her own brother, Rekha's brother.
Okay, Rekha's.
The one in Chicago, her brother.
Okay, so.
Are you confused?
I am so brother, husband, I'm so confused. Okay. So
no,
Radha Murthy's brother, we're going to look at.
No, Radha Murthy's son.
Son, okay. All right, so her son. Okay, oh, I see. So your brother, if you're playing, what's her name?
Right.
Okay, got it. All right, so what do you want to ask me? First of all, say my name one more time.
Ravindra Murthy.
Okay, and I died how?
Colon cancer.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and ask me a question.
So, are you in a good place?
Yeah, he's in a good place. And this, I mean, I initially looked at this before, and it's like really far away. So he doesn't have any unsettledness right now.
Oh, okay, because he really didn't want to die. I mean, he really wanted to live. So.
Yeah, he's settled into this place now. He's content.
Oh, okay.
He is watching you guys from afar, though. Like, the woman I just looked at, she's really not even looking at you guys. But he is here and there, like, glancing in.
Okay, and my father, is he there?
Your father. What's his name?
Krishna Murthy.
Okay. He's in a different section. He likes to be a commander. He likes to tell things how they are. I see that energy about him. And he's got like his eyebrows kind of towards one another, kind of like sternness. But he's still also got a big heart. And so I imagine that was a lot of his energy when he's living. He's also taking after. And how long ago did he die?
About 29 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any particular question for him?
I want to know, is he worrying? Is he, I would imagine he would be worrying about his only daughter. So.
Well, let me ask him. Are you worried about your only daughter? He's not worried. He knows that she'll be good. Like, she's self-sufficient. She's strong. That's what he says. She's good.
Okay, and a question for his sister, who's my actual mother. So.
Okay, we just made like a square. Okay.
What did that mean?
Never mind. Okay, so your mother. Okay.
Does he have any message for her?
Oh, okay. Okay. Your mother, the one I just spoke to the other day. Mm-hmm. Okay, does he have a message for her? Oh my God, I got really confused with the whole matrix here. Okay. Okay, your mother and... Okay, I don't really get any message. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, all right.
Well, let's just end with...
That's it, yeah.
Is it good? Okay. Let's just end with taking in a healing energy to both you and to everybody we looked at. Including the daughter that's still living. So let me see. It looks like a white light is what wants to come in. So I want you to imagine that a white light is coming in through your head and in through everybody's head all at once and going through your bodies nice and slowly. It's the source energy. Going all the way into your feet. And the last piece of information that wants to come in is you're really all connected. So I want you to make a circle with your hands with everybody we just looked at today in the reading. And I want you to imagine that everybody's looking eye to eye at one another. And it's basically the energy of I see you, I see you, I see you. So as you're looking around, this is the energy of seeing one another, seeing through the exterior, and so seeing into the interior. You know, we all choose bodies, you know, our eyes, our facial shape, according to our energy vibration. And it is a choice. And it's really neat to look at the particulars of why you chose the nose you chose and your belly and everything. And so basically, when you choose your next life, you will have certain qualities and characteristics that your physical body is going to have to resemble. And on a little bit of an offshoot here, we now know we do have the power to adapt our genes, our genetic code, into one that's more, as you change your mind, as you change your spirit, you could also change your physiology and your physical structure of your body. I'm living proof of this because if people know how I looked in like college, it's very, very, very different. I mean, people would still recognize me, but I wasn't like a happy, heart open, loving kind of person. And so I'm just telling you this because I want all the listeners to know that the energy we're putting out there right now into the universe is crafting the soul that we're turning into. And it's going to craft who we become in the afterlife and who we become in the next life. All right. That is complete. We are complete, my dear. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Much love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, so if you're listening, just take a few breaths and exhale. And I'm next going to give Angelina an opportunity to call in if you would like. And let me just take a look. Okay, or any person here if... Yeah, so if you want to call in or if you want to write in chat what you would like me to look at. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take a few more inhales and exhales to release the energy of that which I just did a healing around. Release all the energy cords. And thank you all for allowing me to communicate with you as well. All the bodies we just looked at. Freeing that energy spirit from my body. And I'm calling back my own powerful energy. Okay. Great. All right. So I am completely here, and I just got a big ol' yes from Angelina that she is ready to call in. So I don't know if I have a phone problem. I don't know if I should just call you or if you're going to call me. Okay. She's calling in, she says. So if we don't get a call from her, then I will call you because technical difficulties are happening today. So Angelina and we actually just reconnected. We did a coaching training 15 years ago. So it's really great to reconnect with her. I actually have no idea what's going on with her. It's good to connect with new and old through social media. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, well, I'm just going to call you. Still have you in my phone from years ago. Yeah, Lori, that's fine. We could do that as well. Oh, now I'm getting a busy. Oh, you must be trying to call me, Angelina. Okay, so either Angelina or Lori, feel free to call me. So Lori is saying she wants to touch base with an aunt that passed roughly 20 years ago. Angela is saying calling in next. And Lori is saying that's a little bit about what's going on in the chat world. Okay, so once a reminder when you call in to mute your phone. All right, so I'm just taking in the white light energy into my body and breathing. Okay, so my phone is having technical difficulties. Okay, I'm going to call you, Angelina. Apparently you have to... Okay.
Here we are.
Hey, here we are. Okay. So this is Angelina Frost.
Now I need to mute. I need to mute the video.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so let's get right into it. If I have permission, go ahead and sit in a nice posture. Arms and legs uncrossed, eyes open. If I have permission... Okay, who is it you want to look at?
Oh, I'd love to hear any messages that Garth David Parr might have for me.
Okay, today. Perfect. Okay. And so Garth is Angelina's fiance who died 2.5 years ago. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So if I have permission to read and look at both of your energies, can I hear both of your full names one time?
Angelina Frost, Angelina Frost, Angelina Frost, Garth David Parr.
Yeah.
Garth David Parr. our dated part.
Okay, so the first thing I see is he's like sitting by the stream or something. He's playing a flute kind of thing, some instrument like that where you put it up to your mouth, and he's just kind of like enjoying the solitude. I mean, he definitely was a guy that didn't need much. Like, he's very cozy in nature, and so he actually found it really nature beautiful there where he is right now. And he's just like in harmony. Harmony is the word that comes up as I see him playing the flute. I'm like asking, is this like a new instrument? He's like, yeah, but I always had an inclination towards it. So, yeah, he's like, I just picked it up. He's loving it. He's loving, like, I don't know him that well, but he just seems really like he really likes music and likes that music that you could just play a whole melody for yourself.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you like? I'll channel him right now, and you could be you. Okay. So what would you like to say to Garth?
Hi, baby. I love you.
Aww. Yeah, he just put his flute down, and he's like reaching out and holding your hand right now. Wow, this is making me really sad. So just feel him holding your hand right now. I've actually never experienced someone do that. So let's just sit with that for a moment. And he's not outwardly saying this, but inwardly he's saying, like, I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you the way you really wanted me to. But he knows if you say that, then you'll be like, oh, please don't apologize for anything. So he's not outwardly saying that, but through his eyes he is.
With your break, you kind of broke up. So
I said, yeah, so I said that he, in his eyes, he's saying, I'm sorry. Even though he's not saying it in words, but he knows that how you'll respond if he says, I'm sorry, I couldn't be there for you the way you wanted me to be there for you. Because he knows that you don't want him to take any of the burden of it. That's why he's not saying it out loud. But in his energy right now, he's got that potent stare of looking at you in the eyes, and he really is. He's like, I'm there for you right now. I know not in the way you want me to be, but I am here.
See, I do know this just from my own experiences with him since he met.
Yeah.
As the past couple of days, I've bumped into, like this whole process has been me kind of evaluating how ways I showed up and ways I didn't show up, and feeling very remorseful for, like, I feel concerned that I know his love for me, and I feel concerned that
he didn't receive it fully.
Yeah, or it's not maybe that he didn't receive it, but that he was entangled in doubt, in doubting it when he was embodied.
Well, what I see about that is he would have had a hard time. It was him that was blocking him from receiving it, if that makes sense, because of his own intimacy fears. So you could give it to him, but he could only receive so much. So even if you said a million more words of I love you and emotional, physical, which you did, but even if, like, in your mind justifying more I could have done, it wouldn't have helped to let it seep in more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that. I know there's truth in that.
Yeah, and he's basically saying, look forward and not back, baby.
That was what I was going to ask. Like, what does he have anything that he would like for me to know that I haven't realized yet?
Well, the first words that came to his mind were, you're beautiful like the sun. He's like, you have the ability. Like, to do whatever you want to do. Like all your career pursuits, for instance, you have the power to do that. Like, he's more back of the house and he just wants you to go out and do it. Like, don't let him hinder you from going forth. And he has, because you've been in mourning for over 2 years now. So he keeps saying, you have to go forward. You have to go forward. He's saying, go find love. And he's actually saying that it's not love that you need. Like, you need love, collective consciousness love. But you don't need a lover right now. You need to just do your thing. You need to do your thing. And even if you did find a lover, that would not be of concern to him, of course. He'd be happy for you. But right now, your energy is not even there, and it doesn't need to be there. It'll be there when the timing's right. But he's like, you got to go forward. He's asking, what's stopping you from going forward? What's really stopping you?
All the same things that ever stopped either one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Well, in some ways, you guys actually stopped one another from going forward, is the actual reality.
For sure. I don't think that was what either one of us were trying to do.
I know.
I absolutely see that is very true. I know that's
so
true.
Basically, your time together.
That's a lot of what I've been, processing through and learning how to love and bringing clearing to.
Yeah.
But, I think that that's a big part of what our soul dance in this lifetime was about.
Yes. He enabled you, but in the same time, you gave up some of your power towards it. And you cocooned with him a little bit. And you were more on the idea phase, like the 7th chakra. You guys really resonated on the upper chakras. But, to output and to manifest in the world, you need to really connect into the lower chakras. And basically, it's because of his death that you've given yourself permission to not be fully here on the planet. And that literally has to change after this reading. Like, even right now, when I look at you, your energy is not really connected into the earth. And I know you're a total earth mama. And probably a good solution for you is, after this call, to go out walking, but even walking barefoot, if you could, like if you have land around that you can walk barefoot. That literally is one of the things that's going to really help you to connect back into the earth. Okay. So it's almost like you feel like you have an excuse to be more in the 7th chakra, because that's where you connect with him. And so basically there's, the suffering obligation of love. Remember we learned about that. And so basically when you are not there with him in your first chakra, it's basically like you're betraying him in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to leave you and go into my body and my manifestation. But that's basically disconnecting from him. So you feel that obligation to stay connected, because he would do the same for you. So you basically just have to make a choice. And the choice doesn't necessarily have to be either or. But the choice for you, and I do know you, is you need to connect more into your lower chakras, like your legs, for instance. Your legs represent you walking your path, and you're not. You're psychic enough to know how to bring your energy into your legs and to walk your path forward. And you literally need to do that, knowing that he's still in your presence, but he's not so close. Maybe I'm going to end this session with you with cutting cords and separating, because you've kind of drawn in him a little bit too close. It's kind of like a codependent energy field of, it's like this being safe cocoon and being fearful of going out and facing the world, which isn't your truth. Your truth is just the opposite. So basically you need to set him free and know that he's still there when you need him for advice or support or nurturing. But overall, it's the self-regulation that, it's time for you to do more of. I know you have that dichotomy between being so self-reliant and so dependent. You kind of go in between both. And so it's almost like two extremes that neither of them you've really figured out how to be in healthily. So how do you be here and fully doing your thing and fully present with your work that you're doing, and also at the same time bring his spirit, his energy, his truth along with you?
I appreciate this.
Yeah. This will take a little time. Like, let this seep in for the next 48 hours. Like, this healing is going to continue for 48 hours. And you might really feel his presence around more. And just look at how your body responds to that. I see you kind of not wanting to let go for the next 48 hours, let's say. And then after that happens, you're going to just be ready and like a balloon. It's like just letting his energy go and then choosing life. So I actually see you 72 hours. It's actually more realistic, like when you'll be ready to step into your own life without that holding on energy. So you ready to cut cords right now?
No.
Okay, it's okay. We don't have to do that, but just
I want to like the way that I address cords is I go to their anchor points in my physiology as I identify them,
mm-hmm.
and I haven't really thought at all about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that some cords have gone as a result of like bumping into, you know, internal conflict that I was having with him that I have let go, but I haven't like had the intention of, okay, now I'm going to cut the cords. You know, it's like I haven't really done that, and I know that just, you know, like I haven't even thought about doing that at all. But I know that
you need to.
Happen.
Everybody needs to cut cords. I mean, we need to cut cords with your lover, with, you know, I have to cut cords with my baby. It's just healthy because we need to reclaim back our own energy. This doesn't mean that you're pushing away your connection with them or anything. It just means that, you know, after I do the cutting.
Cords are manifestations of attachment. It's like faithlessness it's like not having faith in the actual connection.
Exactly.
It's actually there.
Exactly.
It's real.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I just haven't really thought about going in and finding the cords.
Okay.
I haven't even thought about doing that.
Well, I see a really strong one on the right side of your belly button. That looks like the strongest. There's some strands to your third chakra as well. But when you're ready, it looks like between 48 hours and 72 hours. I see you doing kind of like a sacred ceremony out in nature around it. And it looks like, I don't see exactly, but it could be like flower petals or something flying free into the universe. And I see tears and I see something that you're writing. So it looks really beautiful. Well, let's just end by taking in some healing energy into our body. So I'm going to do this with you. I'm going to put this and support you with the healing energy of the white light going into your body and going into Garth's. Just send the white light energy into both of your... Stopping just briefly at your heart, and it looks like at your heart for both of you, there's like a rose light energy at your heart. And then from there, it continues to travel down. Goes to every cell of your body. And then when it goes all the way down, I'd like you to just bend forward like this, slide your hands down. And the bending forward symbolizes the end of this healing and the transition to the rest of your day. And once again, soles of the feet, soles of the feet, soles of the feet. They wanted me to remind you that again. Yeah. All right, so stick around. We're going to do a group healing at the very end of this. So thank you for allowing me to read your and Garth's energy. So honored.
Thank you, Shara, very much. I appreciate it. I'll hang up and go back to the video now. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so now I'm going to read Lori Smeras, and I guess I better call you since my phone's acting up. It's really interesting. I did some recordings earlier. Technology, and we're not even in Mercury retrograde. Maybe it's just my powerful manifestation vibrations breaking down the technical chords. Okay, so Lori. And by the way, these people are calling me about this because they signed up for my energy healing before. And I am going to leave the link in the description for how to sign up for This is just a one-off, but I do live energy healings. So if you want to see the schedule and the upcoming things, just look at the description after this. All right. So I'm calling Lori Smida. Hi, honey. All right. Happy to connect with you here. So Lori lives in Mississippi, just FYI.
Yeah. When I give the name, do you want the name that I called her by?
Yeah, the name you call her by.
Okay.
Okay. So who is it we're doing a healing and looking at their energy?
Yeah, I would just like to touch base because of where I'm in now from when she left, and just say hi. Had a couple times trying to connect with her from others, and they never pulled her in, so maybe she's just too far. But
okay.
I thought this might be an opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm just reading your chat here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll go ahead.
Smita and Ellie Salstrom.
Okay, can you say her name 2 more times?
Yeah, I called her Aunt Ellie, but it's Ellie Salstrom. Ellie Salstrom. Ellie Salstrom.
Okay, I see her way off. Like, that makes sense if you say 20 years ago. So what has you thinking about her now?
Well, I would love to just tell her, oh, wow, how grateful. She was, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah. She really saw you and loved you in a way that you weren't loved by anybody else. Yeah, it's almost like a mother. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I want her to know from my grown-up person.
You want to know what?
I just wanted her to know from me as now my grown-up person.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
She knows. She hasn't really looked or put energy out towards you, so like, in a while. This just happens when people are passed over for a while. They're on to their afterlife life.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just turn Ellie towards you and okay. So why don't you go ahead and ask her something? I'll channel her.
If she was to give me any advice now as who I am as an adult, maybe even her supportive way.
She's saying that you could do it. You have so much self-doubt about yourself, and you're almost like a kid, and she needs to remind you you're actually an adult. So adults are people who know. It's not that you need to know, but you forget that you know, basically. And so, when you're a kid, you just don't know, and you're just like pulled by everybody. We're going here, we're going there, and and that's how you have been.
Yeah.
Right now, you're in a huge transition. So I'm really glad we're working together right now. So
me too.
This is going to be a powerful few months for you. But anyways, my point is that literally trust yourself. Like, you need to just start trusting yourself. It also looks like you're holding on to a lot of cords from the past. Like sort of like mourning the loss of your childhood because you had so much strictness around that you weren't able to have like your full freedom and your full play. That's one thing you really liked about her, is like she's one of the few people that you're able to play really freely with and love and feel. I mean, you've felt love. It's not that you give love like off the wall. You always have, even when people are mean to you, you do. And I see you being very good at your church because it's like, you're able to forgive where other people can't. Yeah. And it's just like you letting in love. That's like your next step on your evolution, is just like learning to love yourself.
Okay.
Just take a breath. I'm actually just going to write something in the chat. Okay. What else would you like to say to her?
Oh, well, there's just such appreciation, gratefulness, love you, and, just No, there actually aren't words for.
Yeah. She knows.
The thankful.
The thing is she doesn't need anything. Like, no matter what you say, she doesn't need it. Like, she's fine.
No,
it's really about you.
Yeah.
And in fact, all four of the people I read today, they don't need anything from the living. It's basically now, it's like basically we need something from them, but it's time for us to turn that corner and to be like, we actually don't need anything from them because we have all the essential tools inside of our body, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything you need right now. Like, for instance, what you need right now is you need to feel your self-worth. You need to feel that you're lovable. You need to feel that you matter out into the world. She provided you that. But now you need to find other outlets for how to access that inside of your body, inside of your life, you know? And I know you're basically in a huge transition zone. So right now you're basically in appreciation and gratitude for every single moment. And that's a perfect starting point. And when it's like your seniority inside I like to use that word seniority, being very senior in your space, which I have the vision of like someone standing, like you standing very erect and upright and being like, I got this. Like, I got this life. I got it. And right now you're a bit in the I don't know phase. Like, I don't know. There's so many unknowns for everybody, but for you in particular. And it's okay for you not to have clear vision right now. The clear vision is your sixth chakra. And right now, just like the tears you're shedding are watering your eyes and causing that translucency that you can't really see through. That's where you are right now. But I promise you, after we work together for my full 12-week program that you just signed up for, you will be able to see like beyond and beyond and beyond. So right now, it's okay to be, and it's actually a perfect time for us to do this healing on this person because you have a lot more shedding, you have a lot more sadness to do, and a lot that's blocking you from actually seeing. And it's going to be like the second half of our coaching together that your seeing is going to come in clearer and clearer, okay?
Okay, and what I sensed was this actually was the best person to start this with to turn and, go forward in my adult stature.
What's that?
That I could, it almost feels like I'm going up and I'm hugging her and we are getting to part now, but with where I'm going.
Yeah.
And not the holding on. Yeah.
So for you...
And I'm glad it was her. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you, cutting cords is very appropriate right now. So we're going to do that in a moment. But before we do, I'll ask if you have any last questions for her or about her.
No, I just wanted to be in her energy.
Well, she's giving you a nice... Okay.
Thanking her.
That's actually a really good idea. So now I see her giving you a really big hug around your shoulders and just enjoy that embrace. She's really holding you. And she's like, I see you. I always have seen you. And she feels like you're her little baby. Like, you're my baby. You're my baby.
Yeah.
She's like, I know. And at the same time, she also had she relates to that a lot because she also had a trying childhood. And she also felt very isolated and alone. And so a lot of the struggles that she saw you going through in your childhood is very similar to her journey as well, but you were too young to understand it when you were growing up.
Yeah.
But that's why you have that strong connection.
Yeah.
And so she's also saying that now.
Also,
go ahead.
I was just to say, it just filled my heart knowing that we're both being healed of that.
Yeah, and so now she's also reminding me to tell you that now it's time for you to pass the torch on. Like, you need to be that solid support figure for somebody else, like downstream.
Oh.
I don't necessarily see a being or body, but at least the energy vibration of it, something around that.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
I actually do. You're great with kids. You're great with kids. So in some way, maybe there could be something with that. Who knows? We're going to be looking at purpose and passion more. So we'll fit that in the mix. Okay. So now I see you guys looking at each other's eyes and holding each other's hand, like hold your hands out in front of you and she's holding your hands. And she's basically like, this is goodbye, but I'm always going to be here for you. So it's goodbye, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm looking at where she's corded into you, and it's actually your right leg. Your right, like, upper thigh, and this is you walking your path, and that's why you've been stuck for so freaking long. This is one of the reasons why, is because you're cording her in your right leg. You need to free that cord in order for you to take that first step forward. You know, the right foot, masculine. Okay. So just imagine the cord from her to this part of your body. Take a few breaths. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you do this. I want you to slowly pull the cord out like you're pulling a thorn out of your body that's connected into her. And then explode it into a million pieces, the cord and her. Let it be recycled back into the universe, back to where it belongs. And then take a moment to call back your own energy, the energy you've given away because of this dynamic. Call your own energy from up and below, from left and right, from past and future. Call it all into your body. Breathe in your own light vibration. And now we're going to end by updating the contract. So now she's like way outside of your aura. She's not like here in your, energetic space anymore. And so we end with updating the contract. And because you're new with me, I'm going to see what the new contract is, and of course you could change it or add, or maybe you have one already. It looks like on your end it's basically like, I love you and I appreciate how you've helped me to develop and grow, and I appreciate how you've taught me who I am, because it's like almost like you have this doubt that if she hadn't taught you that, you might not ever be able to find it again, but because she was able to show it to you once, you could find it again. So it's acknowledgement. That's like powerful. Yeah. And it basically healed her to have that role in your life, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't able to provide that level of love. Did she have any children?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
She was never married.
That's exactly what I'm alluding to. She always wanted to have a daughter, and she wasn't able to. So you basically provided some for her to source that energy into. Otherwise, she would have been very unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So you actually liked it when you were a little weak, and she liked it when you came to her for emotional support.
Oh, yeah.
Because she felt that maternal side. All right, so I'd like both of you to sign that contract. The contract is basically, now we need to go on our different ways. And then let's end by taking in the white light. Take it in through your head and her head. Just take in the white light. Take in the white light. Let it naturally flow through every cell of your body, anywhere and everywhere it needs to go. Let it travel all the way through your feet, all the way into the center of the earth. Go ahead and anchor there in the center of the earth. And then when you're done, I'd like you to slide your hands forward and bend and balance. And with that, we are complete. Bye. Bye. I'll talk to you really soon. See you on YouTube here in a second. Okay. So now we're going to just wrap up by the way we started, which was shut your eyes and let's all join hands. So all of us sisters on the call, and all of the dead that we have called in for today's healing, just be with them in the circle. It's a healing circle. And let's just have gratitude for the circle of life. Everything comes and everything goes when the timing is right. And I also want you to pray to whatever divine source figure you do, that when the time comes, you'll know. So it's not like going to be like you're lingering, should I go or not? Lots of times when people get severe illnesses, they're lingering. They're unsure if they want to live or die. And for when the timing is right for the universe to take you to the other side and to make it easy and peaceful. And if it's appropriate, you will find the loved ones over there. And if not, you will continue on the trajectory of your evolution that you're already doing while you're living. And I'd like you to make an agreement to yourself right now. Life is basically a preparation to die well. Okay? So that means that you're preparing yourself for the transition, for what happens next. And the way to die well is to be in a heart open space, to know that you used your life up. So we all want to be used in this lifetime. So stop sitting around moping and not doing your true life purpose, you know? You need to actually go out and do it, because it could happen tomorrow that you actually die, and then you'll all be a beautiful memory. But still, you have a lot more to do in this lifetime. And so you need to go forth, you need to live, and you need to do it. And being in the now is super crucial right now. So you need to, the past is the past, and you need to be in the present. We could still take healing energies and vibrations with us as needed. But when you feel like it's pulling you backwards, then that's time to say goodbye to that energy vibration. You know, backwards and playing small. So let's, one more time, thank all of those who have passed on, who have touched us in so many ways. Say one last goodbye and thank you. And then I'd like you to see the circle releasing. See everybody else flying off into the wind. Everybody else around you, away and off of you. And then the last thing is, there you are all alone. And it's only you right now. Just see only you in the space. And so from this point forward, you get to choose what direction you walk and what energy vibration you choose to do that walk. And it's a dichotomy that you are really all alone in this lifetime, like literally you are all alone. And on the other hand, we are all connected. You're never actually alone. Those are the two truths I really want you to embody. You are alone, and you are always not alone. So sometimes we might be steering or looking towards one more than the other, especially during the quarantine. Those who live alone could be feeling very isolated and alone. But then what you need to do then is to hook onto a call like this and feel the collective conscious energy that's all around you. And then you'll know how silly that actually was to feel that. And then you could actually just tap in and feel that your resources are right there at your fingers and hands end. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining. And for the three of you who are here, I have one favor. And the favor is, after this call ends, to refresh the screen. It might take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to get the video up from YouTube. And then after you refresh the screen, can you go ahead and write a comment at the very bottom, because this chat's going to go away. So not in the chat, but when you refresh your screen in a couple minutes, then there's going to be an opportunity for you to write a comment, and I would really love that. Okay, sending you off with so much love. Love you, love you, love you.